My husband's estranged mother popped back up after I gave birth and constantly took my husband's attention away from the baby and me. So I gave him an ultimatum. I've been with my husband for 9 years now. I just gave birth to our son 5 months after years of infertility. We underwent 3 rounds of IVF before we had a pregnancy that stuck 4 meters. Miscarriages. This was such a big turning point in our marriage. We got unbelievably closer despite all the grief, and for the first 3.5 months of our son's life, he was easily the most attentive and helpful man I have ever in my life. Meth life was happy. Well, his mom all of a sudden came back into his life. When our son was 3.5 months old, she moved back to our state. She moved to Canada without him when he was 13 and has barely seen him or his siblings for 17 years. There have been multiple occasions where her presence has made me incredibly uncomfortable. She has come here a good 5 to 6 times since our son was 3.5 months old, but never held the baby either. When my husband says, "Look, it's Grammy," his mom will raise her eyebrows and say hi before looking away. And 99% of the time that she comes here, she asks my husband to go outside with her, away from me and the baby. And she started to ask my husband a lot to go to her place. Needless to say, me and the baby are never invited. He says that she's just trying to catch up with him and make up for lost time. But honestly, I'm just done with it. Today was his only day off this week. The baby has a spike fever and is super cranky. I had to call out of work for the past 3 days due to this. I work from home. The house is an absolute mess. I haven't showered in 4 days. I can't put the baby down without him screaming. I need help. Well, around 10:00 a.m. his mom calls and says she needs him because she has surgery and needs a ride to and from. So he leaves. There was no prior notice. Well, he called me an hour ago and told me that her boyfriend was there too. So I asked him why he was still there when she clearly had a ride and a support system. He says that she just asked him to be there and he wanted to be there for her. Well, he called me again 10 minutes ago, told me that she was in recovery and asked him not to leave. I told him that I really needed his help and that ever since his mother popped back up, he's been me and I feel like I'm doing everything alone. He told me he was sorry I felt that way and that he wanted to be home with us, but his mother needed him. I guess something inside me just broke when he said that, because I'm telling him I need him and his mom needing him is more important. So I told him if he didn't come home, I was done. I would file for divorce. I'm not playing second to a mother who ditched her kids off 17 years ago and has seen them all twice since. My needing his help is more important than his mother wanting him there when she already has support from her. He says, "Are you effing serious?" And I just hung up. I hardly see this man anymore because of this woman, and I don't want to live a life like this anymore, even though it's only been a month and a half since this started happening. Am I the a-hole? The hospital is only 15 minutes from us, so if he's not back in 30 minutes, I'll pack my stuff on my way to the Airbnb now. The last phone call I received was him telling me his mother would be discharged within the hour and he would be home after dropping her off. Her boyfriend, who lives with her, is still at the hospital. He could drive her, but mommy wants her precious son too, so I'm leaving. Thank you, everyone who took the time to comment. I will update as the night progresses.